All right, welcome back. For you, it's just, these go up every morning. For me, it's been a couple days. Last one was a bit of a weird session, looking back. I think it started with me losing an entire chunk because I forgot to clear off hard drive space, and during that chunk I got the Tish Assassin ashes, so I missed that entire thing. I got it down here. Leveled that up, I think, to level 10. Ended up getting down to the very bottom of the capital for the frenzy ending, and I sort of gave myself that scar, so if I want to get out of that ending now, I need to cure the frenzy, whatever I did to myself. What else? I got the secret medallion to the Halleck Tree, the consecrated snowfield, which then takes you down to the Halleck Tree. So a lot of, checking a lot of boxes. I don't know if I tried the fire giant specifically or in the last session, or if that was the session before, but I got close on that the first time, blew it after that. I think there's going to be, I thought there's a dragon that, yeah. I don't know if I want to actually fight this dragon. I mean, mostly I just want to get through here. I'm not sure what's here, but let's... I wonder if these shards are, like when the comet came down to open up the city of Nokrin, I wonder if that's sort of what this is implying. Like there's... Because you're seeing damage, but that could just be time, right? But then there's also this hole in the ground. So I don't know what is what. Is it trying to imply this is part of the damage from that, or if this is just something... So, like, the dragons, like, I took a couple swings. You saw it wasn't terrible. What else is... There's some stuff over here, I guess. I don't know how important it is, but... But I'm holding off on the dragons because, it's just going to get me a bunch of souls and some dragon hearts for spells that I'm probably not going to use at the moment, and... So we'll see how it goes. And like I think I said in one of the things, there's some mop-up stuff I could do, like after... That might be easier after I beat the game or beat certain areas. So I see... Okay, so I see the ground. I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. I think this is part of Ranni's questline. I'll talk about the love. Praise the love, be wary the lover. Oh. So it's a two-finger, but it's all distorted and wrecked. Of course, there's blood everywhere, too, so... Oh, is this the ring we grabbed from the chest? So Ranni renounced her Elden Ring whenever. That's why we picked up from her, like, the death symbol or something. So she was sort of outside this system already. The two-finger Elden Ring kind of stuff. But I don't know if I've ever done this part of her story while having the three-finger burn on my back, so I'm curious if that changes anything. So it looks like, and did she like, is this another two-finger creature like in the round table and she just straight up murdered it?
So it was thee who would become my lord. Perhaps I needn't have warned thee. I am pleased, however. Thou art a fitting choice. I go now to the night sky. It is there I shall find mine order. I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
So I think this is what unlocks her ending. Got the Dark Moon Greatsword, baby. And it's also how you get the Dark Moon Greatsword. But I'm curious, like, is it... I think I've completed her quest line. I think that's it. Until you get to the end. But I wonder if that end is even still possible, given what I've done. Is this where I drop down? Given what I've done with the three-finger frenzy, which, again, we can cure. Is there something over here? So, one thing I was, because of stuff like this, I get a lot of Elden Ring videos in my YouTube feed. One thing I saw that was interesting was that, I think I remember, like, way, way, way back, I was saying, there's, like, this guy you can talk to that's part of the Ranni questline. Turns out it's Blaidd. And I knew he was somewhere around here. And I couldn't get him to show up. Like, I feel like I heard it or I heard the howls and I didn't know what to do in order to get him to show up. And what you need to do is you need to do a gesture. And I don't know if I have it. You need to snap. I don't know if I have the snap gesture. But if you have the snap gesture and you snap near that ruin early on, that's what summons him. I just don't know I don't know where you get the snap gesture. And then what's interesting about that is I believe if you can summon him first with the snap and talk to him and stuff before you... I'm trying to remember wherever you get the... There's an Evergaol that gets you the Bloodhound Fang sword, that sword that I really was saying is really... I think it's here. I think you can actually summon Blaidd to help you fight this. It's one of the few times where you can summon help to get... and I wish I'll see if I can track down the video where I saw this. It was one of those things. It's like, oh, like you can get this build going, early game, and then you watch the video, and then it's like doing like an hour of speed running stuff that no amateur is going to be able to do. But technically speaking, it is possible before you fight a boss to... Because what ends up doing these videos, like, it's like, yeah, you go here, and then you're running around Caelid, and then you're, sort of doing all this kind of stuff to, doing things out of order is, right, I was going to say, I feel like, let's see how badly this goes. I didn't get him off, did I? Oh, no, I did. Okay. Maybe there's a Stake America here. See, now that I'm magic, I don't have the heal spell to wipe those guys out. I don't believe. I mean, I know I don't, but I don't believe I have the stats to cast it. That's what I was trying to get to. And I genuinely think I need to give myself more blue potions. I wonder, do I have the stats to... Dark Moon Greatsword is a sword that basically is in some form or another in every single Souls game. It might even go back to their Kingsfield games, and it might be named after... It might be named after a weapon in some anime. I don't know where it comes from, to be honest with you. So let's see what this does. I've never used this sword. I've gotten the sword, but on my PlayStation 5 playthrough, I think I ended up as a Blaidd build. What does this do? I mean, I sucked, but it was doing decent damage. I thought there was a way to shoot. Like, what I did is I held the left trigger to get its special thing going, and that seemed to give it some frost, but I thought it could also shoot somehow. So what I think I need to do is I need to let Tish take point. Let me throw some rocks at its head. That's the whole reason why I got. And I think I want to be careful because I believe there's multiple of these in the area. I need to let Tish. Oh, I'm fat rolling because of the greatsword. That's a problem. Nope. I'm gonna die because I'm fat rolling. Okay, so that's good to know. If I can just survive long enough to okay. I didn't think to check fat rolling. Okay, so that wasn't a bad approach. I just couldn't dodge. So let's try that again. Let me see the weight requirement. See how much over... What was it, I think 75%? I'm at... it's close. But let me go back to the katana for now. There we go. Got my mojo back. In my Dark Souls playthrough over at Black Lodge Trivia Night, I'm doing some magic for the first time, and I call it like the instant win button. I feel like having Tish is a little bit of an instant win button in this case too. It's not completely, because you still gotta... But it definitely helps. And so like I said, I think there might be one or two more in this area. This area I found hard. And I don't know if I beat this area with Tish last time. Maybe I was just like, let me explore more because I'm getting my ass kicked by Tish. There's also another like turtle puzzle where you find the 3 turtles kinds of things, and it's kind of a... I don't want to say it's obnoxious, but it's definitely... Did I not? But it's definitely one where you're just like, okay, where do I have to go to find these 3 things? You're like, really? All the way? Okay. You're just kind of... All right, maybe there is only one. I mean, now that I've gotten that, I don't really kind of care what else is in there, so... let's keep exploring. Like, this is the main path through the ruins, I think, so let me just give it a quick spin in case there's something to pick up. Like I said, I don't actually care about fighting whatever pops up at this point because I got underground, and that's usually the main thing you're going to find for a ruin. Now, is this a separate ruin, or is this all considered the same? Might all be considered the same. Oh, I was like, something's galloping, and wasn't me. Let's see what else is here. Oh. guess it's good that I sort of checked. So I'm curious, like, if you don't do the stone sword, like, maybe just that rolling doesn't unlock the invisible floor. Oh, okay. I guess it's very good that I did that, because that one, let's see what that one does. Is that where you get extra? Okay, so one of them... Okay, I thought it might be one where you get a ton back when you kill enemies instead of just getting some back. But okay, so that's just a giant boost to your FP, which honestly I really haven't put... Yeah, there's more of these now, and I don't really care. See if I can just run around and do it. Maybe I could bring Tish back in, but yeah, as you can see, this is a bit of a nightmare. This is what I was remembering when we were running around the other area. So I'm wondering, this, you know, I was wondering back in the church, like, is this new damage or old damage? I'm guessing, based on this, that it must be new damage from the knock run. Okay, let's, no, I don't want to do that. Let's do that. I don't know if it's going to make any difference, because I'm not really ever running out of either, but I guess you never know. Okay, so let's take a look at what's here. We've gone there. I thought there was a... So I guess we didn't head down this path. We don't know what's down here. So maybe let's do that. Looks like there's a couple ways to get there. We can go this way and down maybe. Let's go that way. Let's go this way and down. So I'll put a marker here just so I... It's going to take us past a couple of those dragons on the way to where we fought Tish at the Evergaol. There's a couple of, like, lesser dragons sort of hanging out there. Now, in Dark Souls 1, you know, Sif or whatever the ceaseless... no, that's ceaseless discharge. There's a dragon there that is very much associated with, like, crystals. And so I wonder if this game also makes some connection between certain dragons and crystals. Let me... Okay, it's not going to let me. I was trying to get to the map so that I could pop that marker off. But anyway. Oh, look at this. Can I cast... Now, Rock Sling's probably a pretty good spell for these guys because it's blunt, physical, and I'm hoping that'll crack. Because I don't have the bubble blower at my disposal anymore as a melee weapon. I do have the flail, though. So maybe these are the reasons why there's the crystal, not the dragons. Okay, so that means it should be good to go. No, maybe not. Yeah. Nope, am I out of... Oh, I'm out of FP. I was limp. Not today, turtle. Not today. How am I doing on the... I mean, I know I've upgraded the flail, so it must not be a bad... That's not bad, like 360 something, 350 something. That's not the worst. Just creating a little distance so I can heal, and then I'll see if I can go beat this person up. That definitely went a lot better than rock slings and... Let me leave this up for now, just in case there's more of these things. Like, I feel like this is doing its job of working towards breaking the thing, but it's not really doing a ton of damage. Gotta switch. There we go. I guess technically I could just run past these, but... It's so stupid. Like, these things in my PlayStation run gave me so much trouble. And it's not that I didn't know the answer. Like, yes, blunt weapons work. I just didn't... I just never took the time to equip it, and I'll be like, ah, no, I'm Blaidd. I just never had one handy, and I'm appreciating... Where am I in the island? Okay. I'm just appreciate... Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I feel like I hear a bear. I just didn't appreciate just how much of an impact it would have. Not crazy, right? Like, you hear some kind of breathing going on. God, it's the worst car chase ever. Get off the horse and hit this guy. Wow. That's humiliating. No, this is what I was hearing. Not even looking. Ooh, that's not good. None of that was good. Now, I'm wondering if spells is not a bad approach to that. At the same time, let's say like Rock Sling, it's a pretty slow spell. And that creature can close the distance pretty quickly. So I don't know how viable it is, but... Okay, so here's the annoying thing. Do I just run past all those crystal creatures? I don't recall which is the right way. Now, I know these are dragons, but if it's anything like the Dragon Burrow area on Caelid, it's not... I feel like I'm going the wrong way now. They're not that bad. And I feel like I've screwed this up. Let me just see. Yeah, we've taken care of that Evergaol, so it's really just whatever's down here. All that for a smithing stone? Why am I two-handing a shield? Ooh, this is terrible. Look at this. Why am I... It's an interesting thing. Whoa, look at this. AMD released new drivers a couple days ago. Currently today it's July 10th. I don't know when this will go out. Look at that. Amazing. That's terrible. Now, one of the things in those, I was using the Pro drivers. One of the things that these drivers did was it was supposed to address the issues with DaVinci Resolve and AV1 codecs. So I installed them. And so this is the first time I'm playing basically anything with the new drivers. But that was stunning. Look at that. That was genuinely atrocious. So again, yeah, we have one of these towers where we have to... That was unbelievably bad. I haven't had a chance to do much video editing yet, so I don't know what that's going to be like with these new drivers. I've been avoiding 3 great wise beasts. So you're looking for 3 turtles, or dogs as they're sometimes referred to. And this gets a little tricky because of where they end up being. These end up being sort of like all over the island. I couldn't tell you what you get for this tower, if it's worth it. I'll see if I can do it, but these ones are very... Usually, you know, the things are relatively close. That is not the case here. At least for 1 or 2 of them. And so you end up having to... So they're saying here. So I'm relying on the messages to help you find stuff. Because it's very much like, I think one of them is hanging off a cliffside. It's that kind of thing where, like, they're not just up out in the open. So maybe I'm overdoing it here. Maybe those messages are just misleading, but do I have a second beacon down? It's not important if I do. I think I do over here. So let's make our way along here, because I believe one of them is along this cliff. Now the question is, can I get across the entire thing on the bottom? Again, you got to be careful of the jutting edge here. I've shown a tendency to walk off cliff edges because I'm not looking down. But I think the first time I did this, at one point, there were, like, I may have found two of them on my own, and then the third one I was just like, you know what, I'm just Googling this, I don't care. And again, I'm sure there's messages everywhere to help, but getting to the part where you can actually see the messages is tricky. Could have swore there was one of these. I'm not going to spend a lifetime hunting these turtles. Just there comes a point I might just Google it myself because I'm like, I don't care, and you don't need to see me do that. Just know that it is a bit of a hassle in this particular case. And that one of them, the one I had the most difficulty finding, was on a cliff. Now, here's the other thing. I don't know if they're in... This might be another part that's tough. I don't know if they're invisible unless you shoot them or hit them, or if you can see them. So dog ahead, that means there's, I don't know if that's literally that turtle or if it's one of the turtles you're trying to find. So yeah, this has been a very interesting experience with this card. You know, not to harp so much on the technical stuff, but I need to use this card for at least a couple more days while I get the packaging. If I want to RMA it, I used the packaging to send my old card to a family member. So then I had asked that family member, hey, sorry, can you actually send that packaging back? This is getting a little weird. So I can't do anything with this card regardless. I still need to use it for a little while longer. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to bother with that church. I might Google it and then come back and say, hey, these are where they are. I am kind of curious, though. What time is it? Let me see. I probably can go a little bit longer. Let me... trying to sneak this in here a little bit. Thought I was going to have a little bit more time. It didn't end up working out. What do I got for souls? 12,000. It's not crazy. I'm just kind of curious what happens when you... Not that I'm going to beat the fire giant in one go, but I'm curious what happens with the fire giant if you have the 3-finger burn on you. Because of what happens after the fire giant with the woman you've been chatting, Melania. I don't remember. Okay, so last time I couldn't tell if my summon died. Who are you going after? Oh. Or if it just disappears between phases. I'm hoping it's the former so that Tish survives longer. I'm taking all week to get up there. Will it not let me lock onto the other leg? I wonder why it's just this one. Maybe because the bracelet protects it, so you have to do this one. I'm not doing anything at the moment, though. That's the problem. I'm getting stepped on and murdered, but I'm not actually chipping in. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Like, I'm hoping... This is awful. Okay, it got better, but that was a terrible fight. I feel like I did better on horseback. Well, maybe not. I did more concentrated damage on foot there, but I did not have my act together on that. And yet somehow managed to get halfway down on his health. So... Again, the lessons, kids, is over level. And it will allow you to play like ass and still do okay sometimes. Okay, let's get this going. Let's get on my horse. And Tish can move. Oh. Look at that damage over time happening because of Tish. Look at that action. Again, I'm terrible, but he's holding his own. She. Maybe it's a she. I can't remember. Maybe like the guy who fought is the father, but he's protecting the ashes of his daughter. I lose track. It's an odd family business to be in, the assassin of royals. but again, who am I to judge? Yeah, he just goes right for it. Doesn't care if he's in range, not in range. He's just throwing attacks out there. Is there no good way to get around? Not paying attention. Okay, it's going a little better. I don't know if that was just random number generation stuff that let me stay under for a lot longer. I wish there was a Stake America so I just didn't have to run over to the chain. At the same time, just me being whiny because it's not really that far of a run. I think I lost my soul, so I'm not going to worry about the 12 grand or whatever I had. I tried to jump there. It didn't seem to work. I'm going to get pounded on this. Katana's doing decent damage, I gotta say. Just whiffed 14 times. Okay, let me run away because I didn't do that last time. Okay, skip. All right, is Tish still here? Okay, so that must have been... Oh, we gotta get out of here. Okay, Tish took some real damage there, though, so... Am I not doing any damage? I mean, that might explain what the trouble I was having the first time, because I wasn't hitting his hands. There we go. Thank you, Tish. Did I just see 180,000? Yeah, I don't think there's anything there. All right. I love this visual. This visual is less impressive. So I think I've talked about this before. Like, you know, one of the things that I thought that Peter Jackson got right in his Lord of the Rings movies, The Hobbit, less so because I didn't love those, is he really imbued in the visuals a sense that there was a history to the land. You know, you'd be walking around, and I know this is Middle Earth, like that's how it was designed in the book, so it's not like he was making it up whole cloth, but he did execute it correctly, right? There's no guarantee you execute it correct. And, you know, by stringing those bits of ruins and whatever, you really felt like the world, I don't know how to say this, the world was built on the ruins of other times. And man, look at that, dip down to 39 frames per second. This is interesting. And this game, you know, this is less subtle, you know, this is like, but I feel like I'm dealing with things that are, it really gives me the sense that things I'm dealing with have been around for ages, which I don't necessarily get in, like, say, Dark Souls 1. I'm not feeling like I'm, you know, interacting with like 1,000 years of, or thousands of years of history or whatever. Let's do one of those, one of those, one of those. Oh, that's it. I only get 2. So this is what I was curious about, because otherwise, usually when you come here, you can talk to the woman. Now, I'm curious if she shows up here or if she has abandoned us because of that frenzy on her back. I shouldn't say she usually showed. I think she showed up for me. I guess at the end of Dark Souls 1, I get that a little bit, where you deal with the final boss, given how that looks. But that's the only time it feels like. All right, so now we finally officially made it to this area that we got to earlier from the 4 belfries. At least we didn't get to the area, we could glimpse it. But now we're actually here. I don't know why there's that connection where, like, beating the fire giant then takes you to this area, but again, it's just, you know, they nailed the art direction for my taste. What I like about this area, some people really don't like it. It's got one of the worst boss fights in the game. But one of the things I do like about this area is you feel like, you know, you've just done something significant. You've beaten the fire giant, and I don't know if you could tell from the visuals, you use that giant cauldron to set the Erd tree on fire, which I love that idea. You know, a lot of times these games have you, you know, like in Bloodborne, you know, the moon changes color as you progress through the night, so that by the end of the day, by the end of the game, you're sort of getting near. I wonder if I can. You are. No, these things do pretty good against. Do pretty well, I should say, against these things. I did not expect it to be that good. Because these things are not necessarily easy. You can see they are fast. They've got that. Got a pretty good sword on them. Magic seems to be okay. This is one of the few games where I felt like the world has changed significantly by my actions, if that makes sense. The other games try and create world changes and stuff like that, but, you know, like between... These things move pretty quick. Between, you know, beating Radahn and having a meteor collapse the ground to get to an ancient city and then setting the Erd tree on fire, I really feel like the path I've chosen to maybe quote-unquote save the world is quite a destructive one. Where it's not always clear that's the case with other Souls endings or stories. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to a bonfire. If I can get to a bonfire, I might call this session. Can you backstab these? I don't know if I can get behind them. I love the fact that I'm getting FP back for defeating enemies. I just don't know how much I'm getting, and if it would have been better to try for backstabs. I don't want to say I'm making short work of these guys, but I'm definitely getting through them a lot easier. Than I did on my PlayStation 5 run, where I was a Blaidd build, and... Okay. What am I looking at? Okay, this was a decent run. Accomplished a few things. At some point, I'll Google that island and those turtles, and I don't think I have enough for it. Well, you know, I've got some runes. Let me try... Can I get 19,000 in runes, though? That's the question. Let me see what I got. Does it tell you how many? 6,200. 11. Okay, I'm going to be short, so I'm going to hold off. Beat the fire giant, got here. This is where we need to go in this general area. It's a very specific location in this level to cure that three-finger whatever. Now, the problem is you can't cure the three-finger whatever until you beat Malenia. And Malenia is somewhere else. And so part of me wonders, like, should I just get back to what I was doing over here? Because I kind of skipped a lot. And focus. Like, you know, take care of this, get to that hut. You know, do the hidden path of the Haligtree because there's some invisible areas there. So maybe what I'll do is let me jump over here. We'll do some more of the snow areas. See what we can do that we missed. And this may not have been the right one, but we'll figure it out next time. So thanks again. And oh, you know, one thing I'm going to try and do with this, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I got a little bit of feedback, and I just wanted to pull it up here a little bit. Let me see. I think the Jake Lee 8789 mentioned I wish I could be a little louder. So what I'm going to try doing is I'm going to try mixing up the volume. I guess I probably don't need to use like whatever broadcast standards are for audio levels. I can mix it louder. And we'll see how it works. See if it's any, you know, I'm not going to record it louder, just a little technical thing. I think what my understanding, I'm not an audio guy, but I think my understanding is it's better to record at the same level or a little softer, whatever it is, and then boost it after the fact, because then you're only boosting the noise that's there, if that makes sense. Where if you record everything louder, since I'm not streaming, it doesn't matter. When you record it louder, you're going to get more of the room noise, maybe the more self noise from the mic, that kind of stuff. And then, you know, that sort of gets into the recording. But if you record softer, you're less likely to get those other things. And then you can just boost the actual signal that's left over from your voice. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. But I want to thank that viewer for that feedback, and we'll see if I can fix that in any way. So thanks again, and take care, and we'll see how it goes next time. Bye-bye.